What up? It's your boy King Now 225 coming at you with another reactionary video. So hit that like and subscribe, become part of the kingdom. I promise you, y'all. I don't want to talk about this BI. I made my feelings known about her and the dudes, the black men who defended her side of her out there fuck shit she said, but she don't want to let it go. Like a bit of, she gonna keep at it and keep picking and keep picking. With this one. Like, how can you excuse this? Cause she butthurt about MTR when she did what she did, and MTR did what he did, made a reaction video and said, "Listen, boo, I can't stand next to you." She got all kinds of mad and upset and angry at him and focused her energy on MTR. Hard down, MTR. But to do this, just pearly things laughs at my cancer. If anybody don't know, it's weird to me. I want y'all to really understand what I'm saying, how weird this is. This manosphere, these man spaces were created so men can open up and voice their traumas, basically be, therapy for one another. And you know how hard it is for men, specifically in my community, to open up and be honest about stuff like mental health, just general health and health in general. Black men don't go to the doctors. So we create space and we're like tearing down these walls that society has built and getting men to accept and understand, that you gotta talk about your mental health. You can't ignore your health. And to have some woman who claims to be an ally to those men making fun of a man who was open and honest about his cancer because she butt hurt. Nah, bitch, that's fucked up, bro. I ain't gonna react to her video, cause I don't fuck with her. I'll react to MTR video, talk about her. If anybody gonna get the likes, it's gonna be he get the likes, not her. Man, get your ad off of here. Shit. Goddamn computer. Let's get to this. So y'all can see the face of the Karen who claims to be an ally of the men in the manosphere, but laughs when a man had to go through cancer. Sound like a typical woman to me, right? Make me mad. I'ma let you have it.
You should just. Someone says, "Is that the dude with one nut?" Yes, that's the dude with one nut. Yeah.
Forgot about that. Stop! Why would you do that? Stop! Why would you do that?
Nah, that's the same shit she did. I didn't say it. I said one of my Africans said it. The dude with one nut, the man went through testicular cancer scare, right? And it's a joke because you are upset with him because he distanced himself from you and your ignorance. It's fucked up. But to be an ally to men, to shame a man, to come out here and be brave enough to talk about his cancer issues and to shame him, man, that's like that therapist telling men they need to see therapy while telling them they stupid and fucked up and why would I? Like, y'all don't get it. It's hard enough. It's hard enough to get a man to acknowledge even help. Yeah, they'll work out. Damn, motherfuckers ain't going to no doctor, get no prostate exam, checking to see if they got cancer. No, but to do that and laugh, man, I'm gonna rewind this. Let this, let this woman roast herself. I hope Anton Daniels out there listening, and the Angry Man and Obsidian, all the dudes who monkeyed around and backed her and shitted on black men. Is this your queen? Is this your queen?
one not. Yeah.
Forgot about that. Stop, why would you do that? Why would you do that?
Guys, as men in our society, we go through a lot of pain. We go through a lot of struggle. We go through a lot of shit. But women like Pearl will utilize our pain, hurt, and struggle in our modern day society today without having true empathy for it and profit off of it. Guys, never in a million years did I think that my balls would be the topic of conversation out of another man's mouth.
Roasted, keep my balls out your mouth, Nick.
But here we are. You understand me? Now, guys, listen, before we get started in the content here today, the first thing I want to say is shout out to the MT Army. I appreciate you guys from the bottom of my heart for all of the love, for all of the support. It means the world to me to continue to make content like this over here and having to build up a community as strong as what it is. Secondly, shout out to all the content creators that have reached out to me behind the scenes with ideas of how I can roast these people. Let me also say this, is that I've talked about this on my platform before, that this is not a beefing platform, but to say that I was a bit surprised that my condition was brought up on a platform that's supposed to support men or give advice for men in a joking or a trolling manner is the literal definition of hypocrisy, the literal definition of irony. But such is life. Now, to catch some people up, in the fall of 2021, I was diagnosed with testicular cancer. Actually, I have a video up on the channel where a few hours removed of my diagnosis, I made a video speaking about what has happened and what will happen going into the future, after which I took about 30 days off to mentally collect myself as I was physically healing through this bout. It was without a doubt one of the most traumatic experiences that I've gone through within my life. And with anybody who's gone through a cancer diagnosis, or anybody that has a family member or a loved one that has gone through cancer, you guys all know exactly.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I'm from Baton Rouge. I'm from Louisiana, Cancer Alley. Ain't no person from Louisiana don't know somebody that knows somebody that's related to your auntie, your mama, your cousin that done went through cancer. We know
What it is that I'm speaking about. I released that video because I had one goal in mind, and that goal was to save lives. Yeah. Now, prior to me clicking publish on the I Have Cancer video, I knew that certain unscrupulous people on the internet, those that will troll to entertain themselves, or just haters in general, will stop at nothing to use information like that, especially information that they think that you're self-conscious about, to utilize that as ammunition to weaponize that information against me. But through that, I chose to release that video because my goal is to help men. And if I have the opportunity to save lives, because I speak about something that's not given enough airtime within this society, then I absolutely will. And I would never take back that decision, especially after receiving email after email from people affected, from mothers and fathers saying thank you because of what you said and urging men to go get their physicals and their screenings. You have saved my son's life. And my response to them is, if I had the opportunity, I would absolutely do it again. All of the hate that I have received, all of the people alleging that I've never had cancer, they can all kick rocks, because I want to deliver value to this world at the end of the day. Now, to everybody that's just like, yo, roast them up, bring them to the barbecue, I'm gonna let you guys know right now that this is not gonna be this type of video. Another person that I consulted with, and
See, this is the thing about MTR, and I kind of love and respect him for him. He is too above that to stoop down to such levels. Like, but I ain't. Bitch, you wrong. Oh, Pippi Longstocking head ass. oh, Wendy's head ass. He gonna giggle and laugh at this man's medical drama. He trying to educate men out here. The men you grifting to go get themselves checked, and you find that shit funny. Is you out your guy? You was just so wrong for that. I don't even see how you know what? Like I said, I ain't mad at her no more. It ain't about her no more. I want to hear all of the people who ran to her defense have to say about this now. Are they gonna justify this shit?
Showed the original cringe video to was my pops, and ever since I was a little kid, I've always leveraged my pops on how to handle unique situations like this. And of course, he gave me the when they go low, you go high. So he said, ignore it. Don't even respond to it. But then I thought to myself that there's a lot of young men today that are dealing with bullies, they're dealing with enemies, they're dealing with opposition, and they don't know how to handle the situation, or they emotionally reacting instead of logically respond to it. So I want to bring you guys through my thought process of how I contextualize this situation to allow me to be happy, chipper, and just go on my day. So I'm gonna utilize this as a teaching lesson, as well as you guys to understand a little bit more about insights regarding me, because maybe I'm tripping, all right? Maybe this is just completely funny, ha-ha, kiki. It's fair game to utilize shame and insults, and specifically a cancer diagnosis or laughing at a cancer diagnosis, in order to exact revenge upon our enemies, right? So in order to understand that, let's understand first the context of the situation. So here's the long story short version of the situational context. And it's as follows. Just Pearly Things does content with Nick Fuentes. I land in London a month later, unaware that this content was done, and did not watch the content before coming into London. I get back from London, the story blows up, and I slowly come to the realization of the gravity of said comments and decide to distance myself away from the Just Pearly Things network and platform. Now, before I drop my video entitled Holding Just Pearly Things Accountable, I called Pearl, had a conversation with her, and told her that I'm going to publicly distance myself away from her platform, as well as her offering to me to not air the footage of the Red Pill Bachelor. And let me also talk about this. The reason why I chose to do that is because people would still associate my brand towards her if future content was released on her platform. I never addressed that video again on my platform, and even live streams that I've had where people have asked me specific questions, I have chosen to not say a damn thing. I left her alone, I left her platform alone, and I continued to create the content that I wanted to create. But over a month later, I am now one nut, laugh, laugh. Bringing up and making light of a man's bout with cancer seems like a disproportional response to me. There's gonna be a lot of people that will disagree with that, but I think that the majority of moral, sane, happy, value-added people, results-driven and oriented people in society would agree with me. So then I asked myself, well, why is the response so disproportional? And it's either A, they're just doing it for views. They're just doing it for clicks. They're doing it to just drum up some drama shit. Maybe the views are declining over there and this is what they got to do in order to stir shit up. Or B, they are genuinely very upset, mad, and angry that I have chosen to distance myself away from them from a platform or a business perspective. It's like she's more mad that I distanced myself away from the platform than I was mad at the doctor for throwing my right nut away. This shit kind of reminds me of some Modern Woman shit, like you break up with a girl and in response, she keys your goddamn car. So that's the contextual, environmental situation that I think all men need to understand before responding to somebody. Because when I think of the environment, I just think of, well, it's disproportional response. There must be an emotional factor that is playing into the way that they're choosing to do this. So after the environment and the...
Yeah, she butthurt because you distance herself. It's all emotion. The same shit she be arguing, this like don't listen to these guys. I ain't gonna say that because some women be on point, but these women out here telling y'all how to behave and act and behave the same way that men don't like. You being emotional and bitter and holding a grudge. And all this dude did was, this is your ignorance. You expecting him to get in line with the other tycoons, cause they claim they tycoons. I'm rich. You expect him to get in line with them other tycoons, but he wouldn't. He stood by his people. He stood on principle. He ain't cash a check and say, "Oh, she a good person. Y'all Negroes, shut up." And she mad. She big mad.
The background gets assessed. The next thing that you have to assess is the people within it. The first person that I'm going to talk about is Pearl's producer, the one that brought up the comment that said one nut. And guys, understand this, is that there is nothing that I've said on my platform in the 1,300 videos that I have on this channel about someone that I would not then say to their face. But men, understand this. It is not masculine behavior.
What he just said, you a bitch ass nigga, you ain't gonna say that to my face? Oh, hide your face ass producer. Throwing that shit across the pond. I'm gonna be Luther. Y'all remember Luther? President Obama, he couldn't say certain shit because he had to be so PC to appeal to the mainstream audience. He had the other black guy on his shoulder who saying how he really feel. So I'm gonna be MTR's Luther. Listen, bitch. Don't keep my nuts out your mouth. Unless you want, don't say shit unless you want to see me in person. I'm talking about the producer, because you know, you really can't say nothing to old Pippi Longstocking, or she gonna community strike your ass. I feel I just got to strike. I swear I feel like it's connected to my criticism of Wendy's over there across the ocean.
Behavior whatsoever to say things negatively about someone from the comfort of your monitor. And in fact, meeting her producer in person.
He just basically said, you acting like DJ Academics right now. Stop acting like a bitch right in your mouth. And you hiding in your booth like a studio gangster. You stop with the Twitter fingers and come see me in person. That's what he said. I'm telling you, I'm translating. I'm Luther.
He is the exact same type of person that I would expect to punch below the belt. No pun intended.
Yeah. When I met him, he did seem like a bitch ass nigga.
Because certain types of men default to toxic feminine behaviors such as being...
Because he acted like a bitch when I was around him.
Passive aggressive and throwing ad hominem attacks, doing sign language, shame and insulting. Because in reality, that man cannot compete with you by...
Because the little nigga ain't jumped off the porch. He can't hang with the big dogs. So he barking from the corner.
Any degree and measure of masculinity in reality. So in reality, I think to myself, how I ever be mad at I? Or anything that...
Yeah, you don't be mad at the little niggas. Because they little niggas.
He would ever say about me, when in fact, I pity him. Once you transition in your mind why certain types of people would undercut or go so low, then it's super easy to remove any emotional baggage that you have towards the way that they treated you. And instead it goes into a logical state of pure apathy. Now on to Pearl for choosing to laugh at my particular situation. Pearl, I have nothing personal against you. I made a business decision because you've demonstrated recklessness. And the way that you've handled this situation on that live stream demonstrates exactly why it was a great idea to distance myself from you. Gentlemen, listen to me. Never judge a person, and especially a woman, off of when you up, when you good, when everything is peachy keen, when you got no issues in the world. You need to understand how this woman will treat you if shit just wasn't as good. If you're sick, if you're ill, if you lose your money, if you lose your assets, how will they treat you then? I think many men, especially in Western culture, need to do an experiment. And that experiment is take 3 weeks off of work. but tell your significant other got fired or that you quit. And see how they treat you weeks 2 and weeks 3. You cannot judge a person when times are good. You judge them when they meet adversity. And let me also say this. It's one thing to throw ad hominem attacks, which I, always tell you guys on the channel never to do. It's one thing to talk about someone's looks. Oh, look at his eyebrows. Look at his nose. Look at that big nose. Oh, look at his big lips. Look at that beard that looks fake and shit like that. But it's another thing to talk about cancer and to follow up and laugh about it. I think it's completely sick. But she'll probably say things like, oh,
I mean it.
I'm a bit awkward, guys.
Sorry.
I laugh when I'm uncomfortable. Guys, did you see the original video? It was taken completely out of context. And my response to that is that
Cry me a river, bitch.
Accountability is kryptonite for the modern woman today. They will never admit to doing wrong, and they will never apologize for their actions. That's why I tell you guys so often on this channel to judge women by not their words, but specifically their actions. Indulge me for a quick second. Let's just switch roles. Let's say that I had a live stream. And let's say I had a female host, and the female host brought up that Pearl is called one breast because she had a previous bout of breast cancer and had to get one of her breasts removed. And I laughed right after that. You know how quickly cancel culture would move in order to disband me from the internet? And my response to that is why is there not the same energy when it has to deal with a man? To have a platform where you say you support men, but to laugh at a man regarding his cancer struggle is like a corn star winning Virgin of the Year. It makes literally no sense. To end off, guys, as men in our society, we go through a lot of pain. We go through a lot of struggle. We go through a lot of shit. But women like Pearl will utilize our pain, hurt, and struggle in our modern day society today without having true empathy for it and profit off of it. To all the men out there, to all of the cancer survivors, to all of the family of cancer survivors, I take full accountability for previously working with the Just Pearly Things platform and network. I cannot change the past, but I'm going to do my best in selecting the best representatives of people to work with in the future. Or shit, maybe I just won't even do collabs at all in the future anymore. All right? Questions, comments, concerns? Y'all already know what to do. Mediocre tutorials and
Well, I fuck with you, mediocre tutorials, reviews. I've been fucking with you since the beginning. Like, you one of the content creators I always say, like, him. You know, they open minded enough to really give you game, unbiased game. Like, but you stood for something when you distance yourself. Don't allow them people to shame you. You right. We got your back, man. Fucking tycoons who betrayed us. I wonder how they feel. Like, cause this was totally fucked up. I'm gonna go back to how how the goofball looked. One more time.
Why not? Yeah.
Forgot about that. Stop, why would you do that? Stop, why would you do that?
guys, as men in our society,